All right, go listen to this guy on YouTube. He's fucking amazing. All right, let's go. I don't think I uploaded yesterday. Holy shit, I can't even hear myself. I have new ear thingies. I had a backup headset and I swapped. It's at work where I play piano, or my electric keyboard. And I swapped my earbuds out. But here we go. I haven't been doing any more mechanics in the game, so it's been the same for a second. So the standard. You go in. Oh shit! Actually, the graphic settings are different now. This needs to be saved. Noted. I didn't know that. Okay. All right. So what have I been doing? I added a new. I did a merge where I improved the game modes. I don't even remember what I did back then, but I can't even. What did I do? Oh, I did the game mode spawner. So depending on what the game is. Yeah, that was it. Depending on what the game is, the crystals spawn properly and whatnot. So no crystals in Team Deathmatch because there are no objectives in Team Deathmatch, etc. What did I... Oh, I think I moved stuff around here. Okay, so what's the next thing? What's the next thing I'm trying to do? Settings menu. I need graphics, controls, key bindings, mouse sensitivity, resolution, audio, all these kind of things. That's the next step. And so I made a good little bit of that yesterday and really more progress today, because yesterday I had to learn how to use a widget switcher, which has an index of a widget of its children, and then we start at 0 and then 1, 2, 3. And what we can do is we can set its index and it will swap to other widgets. For example, we'll get started in the game and then settings. So audio doesn't do anything right now. Controls, I have a slider in here that updates the sensitivity. So we could go to 0 and that's the minimum. It's not actually 0, but it's the lowest it can get because there is no minimum sensitivity. Like, even if I go into Unreal and I multiply the sensitivity value by 0, it's still some minimum value. There is no actual 0. I can't get it to do that. So I have to instead set it to a very, very small value and then just multiply it by stuff to make it bigger. So 10-ish is like good right now. And then compare this to Big Bonker. All right, so sensitivity works. It's good. And it can also be way too small. You can also type in here too. So 50, this caps out. So 156, it caps at 150, which is the maximum. 151, same thing. 150.1 caps. All right, right. -1. Oh, I need to make sure it caps, or it clamps to 0. I didn't do that yet. But it, actually, I have no idea what will happen now. Okay, I think it does clamp to 0, but I just didn't do that for the text part. Yeah, see, because whenever I open it back up, it reinitializes this to be the default value of 0, I think. Something like that. Keybinds doesn't do anything. It's just sensitivity. So, but that works, which is cool. One issue about it is that I can click out in this space and still drag around. Nothing. Click and drag. So I have to figure out how to disable that. But the other thing, but this mostly works. This is functional. I need to clean it up a little. And then in the graphic settings, I added a few things. So there's regular. Oh, this actually shouldn't fuck with the resolution, but maybe it does by default. I'm not sure. So graphics, we can set everything from basically low to epic or whatever. And then there's also windowed mode. So there's full. Like, for some reason, I can't get full screen to work. The other two work fine, though, but we're at high resolution, so we're in full screen windowed. If we go back to windowed, then we can change the res. Doesn't go any lower than that. Doesn't go any higher than that for now. But that's it. If I go to full screen, I get this funkiness here. I'm not sure how to fix that yet. But if I go to windowed or windowed full screen, then it's okay. And the res doesn't change in windowed full screen. I don't know if it's because the textures are so basic that this actually is this many pixels. I don't think so, though, because you would think there would be some jaggies coming there. But, excuse me, so I'm not super sure. How does this stuff actually work? Not too difficult. We basically have a widget switcher, which I just said, and then we have 4 separate menus. One is the main little menu. I already had that existed before, but now we have a widget switcher on there. And so I added a settings button, and the settings button, once I click it, brings us to this, and then when I can go back And if I I click settings, and I can click graphics to go to graphics, and then back to go back, and then audio to go to what will be audio, and I can click the back in there, and then I can click controls, the controls button here, to go to the controls index, and then set stuff here, and then click back, and then go back here. How these things actually work is these are each separate buttons, and then these are just little arrows that you can click left and right. I don't like them being on opposite sides. I'd like to be able to just go smaller, bigger, whatever, instead of having a separate button for each or whatever. I think this is probably the best way. I mean, you could do a drop down too, but who gives a shit? I don't know how to do drop downs right now, so I just did what I figured out how I could do it. And so we have a couple things. The main things are you press the button to set full screen. Well, what does that do? Each one of these uses a separate full screen value, and this is a custom function. And this is all just built in the game. You can just do get game user settings, and then you can drag off from it and then set the full screen mode to be whatever the enum that we've passed in is. And then we can also apply the settings. You have to apply them, otherwise it won't actually do anything. And that's it. So you just click the button sets the value, and then it applies immediately. That's it. I could do stuff and then apply after. I would rather click stuff and immediately have feedback and not have to click apply every time. I don't like games that have apply. It's annoying to me. So for resolution, there's the previous button and the next button. And I made a custom function. And instead of having two separate functions, I may as well just do one function, put a bool to determine whether it's previous or next. So are we going next? True for next. Are we going next? No for previous. So we go in here. What do we do? Well, I went on Google and just Googled what some of the regular game resolution things are. I forgot that I actually could have just gone to advanced settings here and then went here. And this would have set it, I think. Oh, I guess not. I could have clicked through them, but that would have been a pain. So I just Googled them, and then Google had the values. So I created two separate arrays, an array for X resolutions, an array for Y resolutions. So we have these standard values and these standard values. So you pair them up. Those are the regular resolutions. We have the current resolution index. So what do? Once this thing starts, I get our current resolution. I just search for the X because these should match. If they don't, okay, I'll handle that later. But they should match. So if you're at fucking 1920, that's probably 1920 by 1080. So that is found in our array. So what do? We get the current resolution. We search for it in our array, and then we update the text to show what you're on by default. Because if you start the game and the game opens by default at 1920, I don't want to just default to the first index resolution because you're not at 480p or whatever. You're at 1920. So we first update the text. All I do is I pass in the resolution, X and Y, and then I just update the visual text. Easy peasy. For this, instead, what we do is we take what your X is and we search the X array to find which index it is. And we don't do anything with this right now. But when you, for the first time, click one of those buttons to update the resolution, what we do is we use that current resolution index, which we've found. So let's say I'm on my computer by default is 720p. When I start the game and it's in 720p, we find that this index is set to the 720p index. That way, when I go to the one higher resolution if I click next, or one previous resolution index when I go previous, so one step further to the next element in the array, or the one step behind to the previous element, we're not going to something that we're not actually next to. For example, if I start the game and I'm at 1980 and I want to play at one lower resolution, if it instead started with a 0 index, that would be starting at 640. So if I clicked one previous, it wouldn't do anything. Actually, what it would do is it would clamp to the 0 value, and I would go immediately from my current resolution all the way down here. But instead, we start where we are. So if I click the back button, we go to this one, and this one, and this one, this one, this one. Instead of starting here, I'm playing the game here, but this function thinks I'm starting here. So if I click next for the first time to see if there is a 1440, it skips me to 800 because it was actually at 640. So basically we save what our current resolution is, and then we increment or decrement it. We save that, and then we just update the screen resolution from the game settings, just like with the quality stuff earlier, or the full screen mode earlier. Same thing, get the game user settings, and then we set the resolution, easy. and then we have to apply it to actually apply the settings, otherwise they're lost. Or they're not lost, but they're just saved in purgatory. They haven't been actually applied yet, and they would get applied whenever they get applied eventually. And then we also update the text. So if I go from 1980 to 1440 or whatever it is, or 1080p to 1440p, then we go to 1440p, and then we update the resolution. If there is no 1440p in this case, then there is no extra resolution. So we're not gonna like make up values and then pass it and then have a mismatch. So, but that's it. It's pretty basic. For the graphics quality, initially I just looked up set quality just to see what the values were, and I was like, oh, okay, texture quality seems pretty good. So I went in here, then I went to the texture quality buttons, and I like having separate buttons for these instead of, I mean, drop downs could work, but again, I don't know how to do that yet. And then I don't like doing left and right shit because you never know what the final option is. It's kind of annoying. Versus resolution, you kind of know what you're gonna get. So I had 5 different buttons here, and then each one for now is just a hard-coded index that it's going to choose. And so if there's lowest, low, medium, and then high, and then maximum, and each one of these passes its own index in. What is the index? Well, it's a local variable that we save. And so what we do is, oh, actually, right, yeah, that's it. Oh wait, can't we just get texture quality ID? I guess I can, because that's a function parameter, right? So I don't actually need this. I already have this. I don't need to save a parameter as a local variable. It already exists. The only thing is I have to type in to get it. So I'm just going to copy it in this case. And this should work fine, because this is already a local variable that exists in the function. I don't need to create another one and then assign this one to this one. It's an unnecessary copy. And I don't know if copy elision is going to take place. I don't know if that's wasting memory or not. Granted, it only happens when I click a button, which is like nothing. It's not even a tick. It's super fine, but I'm trying to be as efficient as I can and not be dumb, not be wasteful. So in the settings, instead of just doing texture quality, because I was setting it and I wasn't seeing any difference, I was like, what is this? It might be an LOD thing to where well, no, I guess it's not. I'm not really sure, but texture quality wasn't having any effect, so I said, okay, fuck it. And instead of having this isn't some complicated fucking high fidelity, high graphics game. This is just some piece of junk I'm making. I'm trying to make it okay. Right? And so we may as well just have a default graphics setting thing, and that's it. And so what would we want to update? I just looked up set quality again, and then I just picked basically any of the things that would be useful. Texture, shadow, view distance, shading, post-processing, global illumination. I might take shadow off just so darkness is still, actually I want to see what it looks like without shadows. So if we start in this hall map and then we go and play, there's a bug there where if I have this widget open and I open the other one and I close that one, I can't close this one. I have to press the T to close it, which is bad. So we're in here. My fucking god. Should not have pressed R. Alright, we're good now. So T for now is my thing, because if I press escape, it'll close this whole thing. So, oh my god, that scared me. So we can go to graphics, and then we have these different options. Oh my god. Okay. So that's it. Man, it's pretty damn simple. We just have some basic ass settings. Let's see what it actually looks like kind of down the hall now. Wow. You can really crank it low. That's crazy. But that's basically it. So yeah. I mean, easy enough little setting stuff. Next up, oh, I think I can do it here too. Maybe? Let's find out. Nah, it doesn't work because it's in the editor preview, of course. But here, let's see what this map looks like. Oh, oh, okay. I thought it was totally killing the texture on the ground. Decent little. Oh, I need to add a debug to show my FPS. But see, this doesn't change anything right now because they're always in window. Actually, what is this? Exit full screen? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to fully package the game and then see if full screen still doesn't work. Because then that would not be good. Oh, I mean, it's apparently in full screen right now. If we go in windowed and then I switch to full screen and then I increase, it looks cool, but it's not. So if I remove this, the screen is centered-ish. It seems like it's kind of low actually. But I'm missing the other parts of the screen. The other part of the hand, the other part of everything, so I'm not sure. I might have to check with a package thing. I'll use Google, see if anybody else has similar shit, and then fix that. I guess I should probably try and fix that first. I'll fix full screen, and then, like, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't work here either. I'll test this, and then that'll be it for the video. Fix full screen. Oh, and then I should fix the clicking. I should fix those bugs that exist right now. Fix the clicking while I'm in the settings menu, so I can't click and move my mouse around. That shouldn't happen. I don't know if I need to define an area and make it so that clicks in those areas are invalid, or if there's simply a setting that I can enable that only lets me click into the widget. This takes longer because it has to load shaders in the standalone game. I'll see if I can do that in the beginning. So if we're on windowed full screen, nothing happens here. Oh shit, resolution actually doesn't even update here. Interesting. And I have no clue why. Because it works in the pie window. As you see here. I'm not sure why. I mean, I basically just copied the same type of functionality as people do online. Where they just, you go in here and you set the functionality and boom, you're good to go. Some people said that, well, there was one guy who said taking his logic out of functions worked for him, but mine works in functions. I tried it out and same result. Doesn't work for the full screen, but the other stuff works. So I'm not really sure. Oh, actually, you know, I need to do standalone and see if the graphic settings change. I haven't done that yet. Oh, did that kill it? I think it did. So I'll check. If the graphic settings update, the sensitivity does, but if the graphic settings don't, then it's a bigger thing, and multiple things aren't working. If they do work, then it's just the sensitivity, which would be interesting. And I'll go into a full game too, just in case, just to see. Yeah, so see, this works. But the full screen stuff does not. It doesn't matter the resolution, none of that matters. So, very odd. This is cool, but full screen, nope. Alright, weird. Not sure. So, well, I guess I'll fuck around and find out.